Hey everyone, how you doing? Welcome to Web Squadron's live chat, and we're doing things a little bit differently today. It's not just me. I've got Atif joining us as a guest because we're going to be talking about code snippets. So I'm going to bring Atif in, okay? And for those of you who don't know him, I'm sure you will have seen his name pop up on our live chat. So I'm going to bring Atif in. So everybody give him a warm welcome. How you
Hey,
doing,
Imran.
Atif? How are
Hey,
you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm good. It's not that nice today. We're in the middle of a heat wave in London, apparently, but I'm all good.
It's pretty cloudy out here, and I'm off.
Yeah,
I'm off to go get my hair cut in about after we've done
nice.
the live chat. So I'm going to hit the humidity of it. But Artie, do you want to tell us and everyone else here a bit more about you? Like,
Yeah.
where do you currently live? You don't have to give the address. And also a bit about your background and how did you get involved into code snippets?
Cool. Okay. Well, hello everyone. I'm Atif. I am based in the UK, in London. Bit of a distance from Imran. I actually full time. Oh, well, firstly, I want to really preface this by saying I am not like a person in front of the camera a lot, which is probably why you see no studio setup or fancy monitors in the back. It's just my makeshift work from home office. So my main careers actually, I work in health. I work for a health and technology company. Alongside that, I also work with Code Snippets. I'm part of the Crack Code Snippet team. We're quite a small team of developers, marketeers, and Verdi. Yeah, I hope he's watching. I hope he's not watching. I know he probably won't be. He's on his 10th holiday of the year. He's a bit down from last year, but no. So Verdi's really the kind of the reason why I'm part of Code Snippets. I'm sure many of you are familiar with him from Code Snippets as being the one of the key man, and also his role at Elementor. I've been in development for too long. I'm talking days of Joomla, which kind of led me into WordPress, and then discovered Imran on part of the Elementor group that came into Elementor, and then that's how I discovered Verdi and Code Snippets. I was a Code Snippet user before joining Code Snippets, and a long story short, with Code Snippets, I was actually developing a platform like Code Snippet Cloud just for fun. And then Verdi came across it and he said, why don't you just come on board and, well, let's make it into the official thing. And that's kind of how I'm here.
No, that's great to hear. And by the way, though, I mean, I don't know if Artie wants me to mention this or not, but we actually connected very, very briefly about
Yeah,
2 years ago
yeah, yeah,
over the Elemental meetup. That normally works in the
yeah,
London or the
yeah,
UK area, and we connected very briefly, and then we went our separate ways, and then we've come back again, and we're
yeah,
all. I mean, RTB is a key member of the Web Squadron community now. We're all practically family, you know. I mean, we could go into more specifics about
yeah,
family, but we don't want to go down that road at the moment. So I'm glad that a lot of you are here, and please don't forget to smash the like button, even if you despise Atif. I know you like
yeah.
me, but even if you don't like Atif, please do smash the like button. So the basis of what we're doing today is to kind of talk about code snippets, and I'm just going to share my screen for a moment and go with something like this. Now, code snippets, Verdi and the team actually brought out the pro version about a year and a bit ago, and or the pro version, and there was a lot of talk about the cloud, and there were going to be loads more features coming out. And I know a lot of people have been patiently waiting for those, and we're now at the point where we will probably have those coming out. So Artie, do you want to talk about the new cloud features or what's currently in beta at
Yeah.
the moment?
Yeah, I just want to kind of maybe touch on one thing just about beta and why we're doing a beta in the first place, because this is the first time we're doing a beta program and we've had updates. So obviously, no software is perfect. We've had, if you've been involved in the Code Snippets community recently, I don't want to call them issues, but we've had some hiccups with some of our recent updates. Okay, and we've really taken a step back, because one of the key things which we as a team and Verdi definitely pushes on is a good user experience, and we really care about user experience. I don't know why they put me on, because I don't really care, but no, user experience is really important. So what can we do around that? So the update that's coming now with cloud, it's one of our 3 big feature updates that we've got coming. This is the first, which opens the door to a couple of others. And as it's such a big change, smaller updates we can easily kind of fix if there's a hiccup. And if we can't test, there's a limit to how much we can test. So many different environments, platforms out there. So this is why, because it's such a big change, we want to launch the beta program, make sure everything's nice and smooth, and also to get your feedback. We really care about what people who use it say. That's how I kind of got involved. Like I said in the first place, Verdi really cared about the community, and he found me through the community and got me involved. So please do join the beta program, because your comments and feedback do make an impact. Even so, I'll give you just a small example of that. The initial kind of the way that you set up the cloud with the plugin, that's got quite a lot of feedback already. So we're making changes already, which is why we're not really going to go into too much of that now, because it's open to change. So really, really keen to hear feedback. And this feature really, in summary, is bringing you a way that you can sync snippets to and from the cloud. So you've got a backup of your snippets. You can grab snippets that you have in the cloud. Also, we've got a huge library of snippets on the cloud that are public from all users. So that's where it opens the door. So if you need a snippet for something, especially WooCommerce, it's a big area, rather than going to Google or maybe a friendly or AI tool, you can go to the search and have a look here to see, is there a snippet that I can easily use? And then we'll go into what bundles do. So that's kind of in a nutshell what the cloud feature of the plugin is bringing.
Excellent. So what I've done is I've gone and opened up the 3.15 version. Not the 3.15 version. I can't remember. I've got
3.5.5. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
It is, yeah.
I don't remember.
So this is kind of what you would see once you're signed up to the beta. This isn't on wide release yet for everyone. And the features that are really going to get you excited, because I can tell you now, and I mean this honestly, when I heard from Verdi and Atif that these features were coming out, I could not wait to get my hands on it. And I've been super, super impressed. And if you've watched a video I released a couple of weeks ago about the Code Snippets beta and the features coming out, I'm sure you'll see my excitement. So the 3 big things you're going to be getting is obviously the ability to now start synchronizing your snippets. And we'll talk more about that. The ability to search for snippets from within your WordPress, so you don't have to keep going back over to the cloud. And the big one, the bundles. Now, why am I crazy about the bundles? You know that I love to go on and on and on and on and on about my page speed performance snippets that I'm continuously telling everyone, and there's like 6 or 7 snippets. Imagine if I now give you a code that you type into here, and it brings all of those snippets. You don't have to add them in individually one at a time. It's going to bring you all of them. So if any of you are working with snippets and you have a favorite bundle, it might not be mine. It will be your own bundle. And you now, like, every time you build a new website, you always like to bring over the same snippets. You can do that. And don't worry, you can add and remove as you go along. Was there anything I missed there, Atif? I think they're the 3 big things, aren't they?
They're the highlights. There's small other things, but those are the highlights. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll start with the code vault. And so if I show you at the moment over here, I've got some snippets, and this one at the moment is in blue. Now, if I've brought over a snippet and it is currently in blue, what that means is that it is synchronized. So Atif, do you want to tell us more about what that means? Sorry, let me put it on this screen. It makes more sense here. So when things are synced, what does that mean?
So synced, what that actually means is that, so this snippet, so if you imagine the code vault is just your kind of storage space of clouds, of snippets, sorry, not clouds, of snippets in the cloud. So when you have a snippet, because it can originate from different places, it could be one that you've created in this site alone, it's nowhere else. It could be one that's from your code vault in the cloud. It could be one that someone else that you found from a search. What the sync does is once you have it in your site and you click on sync, it will then create this snippet or make a copy of it or create it in the cloud so that it's in your code vault. And anytime it then has a direct connection to that snippet. Anytime you make any updates or changes to this snippet here, it will automatically update that in the cloud.
Yeah, basically that. And that's why I like it, because let's say I've got this snippet over here, which is stop lazy load. If I go and modify this now, and let's say I go and break it, let me hit delete quickly because I don't want to break it. That will now sync back to my cloud over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you did have a snippet though that was not synchronized, it won't do that. And if you were using a snippet from someone else, by the way, so that was my snippet from my vault. Let's just say George, who's on here right now, he's created a snippet and I use it. I can change it, but it won't affect his original snippet. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So, I mean, has anyone here got any questions about synchronization? And by the way, this is a Q&A. You can ask us any questions about code snippets. We'll try our best to answer them. And if anyone does ask any questions that are not code snippet related, unless it's something that gets me and Atif really, really excited, we might not answer it on here, but we may do anyway, but it depends on how we're feeling, okay? So if anyone got any questions about synchronization, and there's like thousands of questions now pouring in at this moment in time. There's not at the moment. They will come through.
It's a real job that you do, keeping up with the comments and then talking. I took it so much for granted, like just watching in the people know I loiter in the lives quite a lot of these Imran's lives. So I have to give some kudos to you, man. It's not as easy as you make it look.
One thing I will mention, Bo, and I am guilty of this, is that when I'm doing live chats, sometimes someone asks a question, you spend 5 minutes answering it, and then 20 more questions have been asked. And then people are like, you've ignored my question. And I'm like, I haven't even read it yet. I'm still answering this last one. So I'm not good at succinct answering. I go on and on and on and on. Now, Sol Esperanza's asked a question going, is it updating on all my sites if I change a snippet? So, Atif, correct me if I'm wrong here, but let's say I've got the lazy load snippet and I have got it on 5 different WordPress websites and they are all synchronized. If I go over here and I update, let's say I go and get my lazy load one and I update it here, it will push through those changes to the other 5 WordPress websites because it's all synced. That's correct, isn't it?
It will push through that there is an update.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to, we're trying to be as cautious as we are. Obviously, because we understand that, snippets will be distributed and you may want to use a snippet. We could have had this option where it just does it automatically, but we took maybe a bit more of a cautionary step and said, if there is an update, it will show you that there's an update. And then you can then update that snippet. Yeah.
I'm really glad you've said that because I was actually going to lead on to that because I was going to, if you had said yes, I was going to say, so what happens if I do something and I've shared a bundle out with, say, 50 million people and I've now gone and done something crafty, they maybe need to be aware of it. So
exactly.
I think that's really cool when we get some form of notification as well. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, again, just share my screen over here. And what we're now on is the cloud search. So I'm going to go in and what should we type? Let's do a search for what should we search for? Should we search for JavaScript? I bet there isn't going to be
one that comes with a real good, do JavaScript. Woo always comes up with loads. Even if you just type woo, it'll come up with.
In fact, you know what? I think, no, in fact, one of them's mine and one of them's yours. The light bulb man is Atif. I can tell you that now. So that was a good one. Let's go for something else. Let's go for WooCommerce. Okay, seriously, we did not set this up.
That was magic.
So we are in the WordPress website, and I've just gone and searched. So I'm going to go and say add alphabetical sorting to WooCommerce.
Just one thing before you do anything. I just want to say, you know what? I don't mean to gloat or anything, but you know what? Look at this, though. We've tried our best to make snippets look good. How can you make a snippet look nice? So just wanted to take a moment to appreciate this
I don't
view.
know, add mid journey and it will look amazing. But
Yeah, exactly. No, sorry.
no, but it's like one of the major reasons why I was so glad that Verdi got this out was
Yeah,
because how many times did you go onto Google and forums? I need a snippet for XYZ. I need to do this. And you would find snippets, and
yeah,
often
yeah.
you were never sure of how good they were. I mean, over here right now, now that we have the cloud, we have a directory of snippets, and this has got 20 likes, 16
Mm,
likes, 15 likes. You start to feel more confident about it. And
yeah,
what I
exactly.
also like is if there were ever any comments or feedback about it, you would get that as well. 9 times out of 10, when you found a snippet on GitHub or somewhere, there was always like a bit of like a lack of confidence with should I use it or not. But the one drawback to using this was you had to go in and search, and then you had to copy and paste it. And when I say
Mm,
drawback, it was a tiny drawback.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But now that I can go in and go, okay, alphabetical sorting, I can preview the code. Not that I even understand any of this, but I go, oh yeah, I love the green color and the red. I like the look of that just because of the color. And then I hit download. That's now gone and added into my snippet,
Yeah.
into my code snippets. And that is hats off to the team. And by the way, I really do think that we need to give a bit of a shout out to the Code Snippets team. So,
Mm.
Atif, who else is there? Because I'm pretty sure it's not just you and Verdi sat in a dark room
It's me,
touching each
Birdie,
other.
and ChatGPT. That's it. It's us. No. So I think I just saw Imans. He's our resident AI guru. He's in the chat, I believe. He did respond to some of them. Maybe Imans, if you want to say hello. Um, and we have the actual original developer of the plugin, which was way back. I think he's going to probably get angry at me, but I think it was 2011, maybe even earlier. Oh, it's been, yeah, 2011, 12. His name is Shay. He's based in Australia. And we have Nate. Nate's our marketing guru.
Yeah.
Because of time zones and things, we've tried to get everyone here, but they're not, unfortunately. Imans is here. And Verdi, like I said, he's just on his, 10th, 11th vacation. I keep forgetting.
Let me tell you now, right? Yeah. Verdi is a workaholic and like
He is
there's
a
always
workaholic.
emails and
That's
stuff flying
right.
around. But then when he goes on holiday, you might as well think he's gone extinct. You never hear from him. There's no messages. He's just like dropped off the face of the earth. You think, what's happened? What is he wig hunting, buying a hairpiece? Where's
He's
he
going to
gone?
get upset
He's
with me for
disappeared.
saying this, yeah, because he does.
Um,
You know what? He says this a lot that, when I'm on holiday, I try to take a time off, but I always put code snippets and other things as a priority. So he's going to get really annoyed. I
what I
keep.
will say though is that I have been on quite a few like group calls with the team because
Mm,
obviously I do support them behind the scenes with code snippet videos, and I want to make very, 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 very clear. They are not paying me for those videos. I do it because I remember letting Verdi know about nearly 2.5 years ago. I really love the code snippets and I
mm,
really hope it does well. So I've been supporting it behind the scenes. I love the plugin. I know there are other solutions out there, but there is
mm.
something about the Code Snippets plugin, the fact that Verdi's involved, the wider team, Nate, Iman, Shay, Atif. I wasn't going to mention Atif, but he's here, so I've got to mention him now. And Chat
Okay.
GPT as well behind the
Chat
scenes.
GPT.
This is a great team. Okay, there's no ego, there's no conflicting personality. No one's trying to do one up on anyone like that. So it's so lovely to be involved with a team. Now, somewhat Pez, I think, asked a question. I'm just going to pop it up there. He says, will there be a create my
My
website for me
website.
snippet? Come on, Pez.
Yeah,
You should
yeah.
know by now
It'll
that,
link directly to like what there's an AI generator thing. We'll just link directly to
yeah,
it.
I think I would always say be very, very cautious of any snippet out there because you know what? You're going to spend
Mm,
more time revising and editing it than it giving you exactly what you want. So I would say right now, I don't think that's on the plans at the moment. Pez has also asked another question. He goes, with the new features being introduced, there is no reason yet. Do you know what, Pez?
mm.
I think we'll just leave that up. Right, Atif, I think we should cancel the call now. Let's
Yeah,
just go
that's
off,
it.
okay? I'll go get my hair cut.
Has summarized it all for
Yeah,
us
you go and
brilliantly.
contact your uncle, you know, whatever you want to do. Okay? Right? But no, because I mean, I've said it earlier and I'll say it again. These features coming out, I think, were the major reasons why the cloud was set up.
Yeah.
Why we had the Code Snippets Pro. These were the things I think people really wanted to see up and running. And I do want to point out though that when Pro first came out, I did say to Verdi, well, why are these features not out yet? And I had to appreciate, and I understood where he was coming from, in that they had to get the investment to get the wider team, to get our team, other people more involved into it, to help start producing Imans, all these people, because to pull this all off without the investment would have been very, very risky for anyone to do, you know. So I think we can see now that the investment in Code Snippets Pro, and if you haven't signed up already, please do go and do that. I'm not going to share an affiliate link with you. You know, if you just want to go straight over to Code Snippets Cloud, pop it in Google, go and click the link. Help Code Snippets to improve further, because if this is where we are now, Pez, if you want that code snippet to create your entire website, you need to properly go for Pro, okay? And the more investment you put in, the higher the chance that will happen.
Well, in saying that, honestly, one of the features, you might be able to do it. You know, Imran is here. He's our guru on it, and I wouldn't be surprised if you're able to do something like that in coming. But I would preface this by saying, you know, we don't maybe have the fastest release schedule, which sometimes can hurt us, but we really do prioritize and put an effort on trying to make sure it's a good user experience. And actually, just, you know, I know I'm very much involved in it now, but that's one of the key reasons why I even stuck with Code Snippets before I joined, because I like using WordPress. I like to know that I'm in WordPress and editing. And what I liked about the Code Snippet plugin compared to others, and I'm not going to rip into anyone else, but what I liked most about it was that it wasn't trying to be anything more than what it is. You know, it fits in with. It looked as though it was even part of WordPress core. It's that it's not so flashy. You know what you're doing and you know where you are. So in that respect, we do try to may not be the fastest at coming out, but when it does come out, we want it to be the best version of what we were trying to do. And we may fall up, but that's a learning curve, and that's why we're doing this program, to get your input and feedback.
Cool. One other thing I do want to point out, and I'm not doing a plug here, but I am using EV Mux for the live stream, and we've got Atif on here, and you can see bits of animation and the comments coming on. Please do let me know in the comments if you like that, and if you would like to see Web Squadron doing more live chats where we invite more people on from the community rather than just me speaking. Because I have to say, it's quite nice because I can take a bit of a break and just let Atif do the talking here. So what else I'm going to do is just share again the screen, and what we're going to move. Hey, you can come in if you want. So Raheem's popped over here. My son, who just wants to.
Hello, Raheem.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Good.
He actually has been quite excited about you coming on. As soon as
I'm
he
a subscriber to your channel. I'm a subscriber. You asked for subscribers last time. I'm a subscriber. Keep it going. Don't stop making videos.
Okay, right. So, right, let me just get my screen back on. This is the problem when you start jumping around with screens. Right. So the other big feature, and I kind of spoke about it very, very briefly, was the whole bundle thing. And if I go over to my snippets over here, I've actually got bundles here, and I've already, by the way, this is how you create a bundle. You would go and give it a name, give it a description. So I've created WordPress page speed. I think this is the elemental one for page speed optimization. And if I go to view, these are all of my snippets in there. This code, and it's not going to work for most of you yet because you don't have the latest version up. If I was to go over here to snippets, I can now, because it's already like connected to my account, it knows that that snippet exists. Okay, so so if I go and create 5 bundles, I will have a drop down to go and pick from one of them. Then if you could, then it. I've just realized that because I'm picking a drop down, the drop down's not appearing on your screen, but I assure you there is a drop down here. But then over here, I can go and type in the code. And what it will then do is show me those snippets over there. I could, if I want, just hit get snippets and all of them would just appear in my code snippets.
Mm.
Or I could view them one by one and go and add them individually. And I have just been blown away. I can tell you now, though, there was a little bit of a debate. And Atif will tell us more about this,
Mm.
but there was a bit of a debate over what to call this.
This is where Verdi won as being the head honcho. I initially called it routines. I'm a bit of like you, I'm a sci-fi guy. Not so much Star Wars. I'm a Trekkie. I'm, crossing over the lines. I don't, but I'm a Trekkie, and to me, like having this concept of having a bunch of snippets that you can bring and it will run automatically was like a subroutine that runs. Like in Star Trek, there are subroutines.
Yeah.
So I call it routines. And then when I showed the team, like, okay, this is how it works, and this is what's going on, they're all like, cool, but what's routines? Like, what does it mean? It doesn't make any sense. So we had a consensus, and I was sticking my guns to routines, but bundles was the overriding choice of what it should be, because it's like a bundles of snippets that are coming or being sent or being received. So it's bundle, and we called it, our nickname for it is bundles of joy rather than
Yeah.
bundles of snippets. Bundles
Yeah.
of joy.
Yeah. There's something about the word bundles. You start to feel like you're getting like a whole load of things. Routine just sounds like, oh, I'm going off to the toilet now to do my routine. You know.
That's the George. That's the George.
George, yeah. To be honest, though, I love Star Wars, but I am a big Trekkie fan as well, so I like to jump between the two as well. So does anyone want to like put a comment on about, do you think the bundles is going to work for you, not only for like maybe one of us sharing? And remember, I could do a video, or anyone here could do it. You could stick it on your Facebook group, you could stick it on a Twitter, you could go, oh, by the way, here's a load of snippets that might be useful for you. And you can pick and choose what you want. But does anyone think this is going to help you out? Because one of the most common things that's talked about is having like a blueprint. So they might say, like, if you're using like main WP or Insta WP or something like that, you might have a blueprint. These snippets are literally like blueprints that you can add on, and you can create multiple bundles. So I've created the page speed one for Elemental. There will be another version of this where two of the snippets in here are not for Elemental now. They're slightly refined to work for any WordPress website. So I'm going to have two bundles that I'll be sharing out there. And it just means that now in future, whenever I load up a new website, I can just go boom like that and get them all in. It's not going to save me a huge amount of time, but it just means that it makes it quicker, especially if you're someone who's a little bit worried about, am I getting the right code or not? Would you agree with that, Atif?
Absolutely, no, absolutely. I think one thing just to also add on to it, just for, you mentioned about, security, bundles can only really be created, or a snippet, sorry, can only be, so if it's your bundle, you can add whatever snippets you want. They're your public snippets, they're your private snippets, and that's whatever you want to do. But if you want to share that and make it public, then it cannot have any private snippets in there. So you can be kind of rest assured, if you create a bundle, it's not going to be someone can have access to it. If it's got your bundles and some of them are private, you don't want anyone to see it, you don't want to share it, it won't be accessible. No one can find it. No one can search for it. And that code will never be able to be generated for it. So in that respect, you can got peace of mind.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to kind of reiterate what Atif's talking about there is that the page speed performance plugin or snippets I shared, they're all public. So if I was to create a snippet which was for a client's website and it was something very, very specific for their website, and I've made it private, it won't be visible within the bundle for anyone else to go and see, and also it won't be visible for you to go and search for either. Okay, it's just stays private for me. So anyone out there that goes, well, I'm going to create 20 snippets, but only I want to see them, you can still search for them. You can still create a bundle for your. Actually, no. Can you create a bundle for yourself even though they're private, or is it
Yeah.
only when they're all public? I think they've all got to be public, isn't it?
No, so like as an example, if you had a client site and you had some snippets and one or two of them were private, you could create a bundle with public and private, but you wouldn't be able to share that.
Ah,
You
yes.
wouldn't be able to
Sorry.
create a share code. It would just be your bundle until you remove those private ones, then you could make it public.
Excellent. Cool. So in a way, we've kind of covered off the three big things. And to some people, they might go, well, is that it? But believe me,
There's
for
one more
me,
actually.
it really changes. Like, for me, it really changes the landscape in what you can now do and
Yeah.
why having Code Snippet Pro makes absolute sense. But is there anything, I don't know how much you're allowed to say, RT, but is there anything that's
There's one
being
more other
worked
small
on?
feature. These are the three of the cloud, the key ones. There are some smaller ones. I just want to show one more smaller
Yeah,
one which is available. So if you click onto, and we haven't tried or tested this, so hopefully it works. If it doesn't, then it's going to be a slap in my face. But go to any one of your public snippets.
let's just go to this one here. Change, I don't know, remove Google fonts. Yeah.
Okay. I know. Yes. I can't actually show you because it's when we launched these features, we restricted some of them to beta, so it is
Oh,
there, but you can't see it.
no,
But
don't
there's a
worry. Go on,
but
tell us
there
a bit about it then.
but I'll make sure that that's released today. What will happen is underneath the snippet, there's some buttons where you can download and export, what have you. There's a button that says deploy, and so what that does is we have a true two-way sync. So what you can do is, rather than at the moment, we've all been discussing, getting snippets from the cloud, pulling them from the cloud. But this button, what it'll do is it'll push a snippet to any site that you've got connected to the cloud.
Okay.
So if you're on the cloud and you're searching, or if you're just creating a snippet or doing something on the cloud and you say, oh, you know what, I needed it on this site, you can just click on the deploy, you choose the site, and then boom, it will go in and it will save. And it won't
Ah,
activate. It will just push the snippet to the site. It won't activate it.
got you, got you. Actually, that's quite a cool feature, that is, because you
Yeah.
could literally either find, and you can do that with, say, a snippet that you found. So maybe if someone has created a snippet, you go, oh, I really like that, and I want it on 20 websites, you could then just deploy it to the 20 websites, obviously probably one by one, but you could still just shove them over there then.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea actually. You could maybe think. Well, at the moment, if you wanted to do it at 20, it's a bit of a longer way. You'd probably deploy it and then sync it and then add it to a bundle. But we could maybe look at, if it's something interesting to people, having it so that you can immediately add it to a bundle. We'll see what people, if you or anyone else thinks that's a good idea, then
Yeah.
let us know.
So Greg has said, can we create a limited or like a lifetime deal? I don't think Verdi or the team will be doing that. I mean, that's not for our team to decide on. I mean, if we had our way, we'd be giving it out to the world, to everyone. We'd be sharing it out there. But I don't think that's on the radar like a lifetime deal, mainly because of the ongoing investment, I think, which really helps Code Snippets to just keep getting better and better, because you got to remember, behind the scenes, in terms of Code Snippets, it's been used for a long, long time for free. And if
Yeah.
you just start to imagine how much work must go in just to create that plugin before we ever moved on to the pro version, let alone the developments now. And I can assure you, I know that, Imran's, Atif, so many people, they are really working hard on this behind the scenes, and like whenever there's new updates or improvements or fixes, they're really working flat out.
No, absolutely. I think never say never, but you summarized it really well. And actually, we are bringing the cloud to the free version as well. It's not just to pro. Obviously, it's much more limited because a lot of these features rely on pro, but there is a version that will be available for free where you can search, find snippets, and the process of bringing them to the site may be a little bit more involved, but there will be a flavor of it for free.
So Buey, I think, says, I love you, Elemental 3000. Isn't that from Marvel?
Similar.
Isn't that from Endgame, the 3000 bit? Was it 3000 when
Oh,
he said, I
okay,
love you
yeah.
3000?
It says I love you 3000.
I think it is, yeah. Soul asks, can I still use it without the cloud? Ooh, good
Ooh,
question.
good one. So why? Why? What's happened? What have we done? Yeah, I mean, sure, absolutely. You can use it without the cloud. I mean, there still will be icons here and there, the tabs will still be there, but if you like really don't want to, I mean, there's no way of, I don't know, deactivating it so that cloud is totally invisible to you. But yeah, I mean, maybe if that's something which loads of people say, I really don't want cloud, I don't want to see it, then we'll consider it and add it. But Saul, why? Why are you saying that? What have we done? What's happened?
I know, yeah. I mean, I there's only so many plugins where I feel like you've got to get the pro version. Sometimes you can get by with just using the free version.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Um, I think being able now, look, okay, let me go back a step. If you're someone who only ever works with one or two websites in your entire life, you might go, well, I don't really need to worry about bundles and I don't need to worry about
No.
searching. I know what I'm doing, keeping it very basic. So if this is just for you and your business, you could get away with just using free. But if you're an agency or a freelance and you're working on multiple websites or you're managing multiple websites, this is going to seriously save your day. And if you're someone who never likes to take the website further or refine it, you probably don't even fully appreciate snippets or extra coding like this. But if you always want to just do a little bit different and you don't want to get involved with child themes, you don't want to start editing, the theme editor and all of that. You don't want to hire a coder to do bespoke stuff for you, and you just want to do something a little bit different.
Mm,
This can massively help you out. And I've done websites and people go, "Oh wow, how did you do that?
mm.
What plugin was it?" And I'm like, "It was just a snippet kind
Yeah,
of thing."
yeah.
And a lot of them are quite surprised. And some of the videos I've been putting out in the last few months, I'm always trying to find a feature that you normally would have paid for, and can we do it for free in a very good, robust way with a code snippet? And even I surprised myself because I remember one of the first things Verdi said to me when I first had a chat with him about code snippets. He said to me, "You do know that a lot of the plugins and extras that you buy for WooCommerce, technically they're just snippets, like, behind the scenes. They might have a bit of a fancy interface or a bit of extra color or an icon, but deep down, it's just basically like a load of snippets that are running JavaScript and stuff like that."
Yeah,
And
you're exactly right. I mean, when I
yeah,
started, before I'm involved with Code Snippets, and I was using Elementor in my early days of WordPress and Elementor, definitely, things I wanted to do or add sometimes. I can't remember exactly. I'll give you maybe a rubbish example. If I wanted to add like a fancy accordion or fancy something, there's a whole plugin for it. And then when you add the plugin, you realize it's just little bits of code, it's nothing amazing. And that's how I stumbled on Code Snippets. And I was a free user. I wasn't a pro user to start with because I didn't really see what the need was. But I actually did buy a license before. Like I said, I was a pro user before I joined, and for me, it may not be a big deal, but actually having the CSS, the JavaScript, and the other kind of features was a big enough reason. It might not be for everybody, but it was a good, and I still use it obviously to this day, and it was enough for me. And I'm really, really confident, and I can't wait for other things to come out because it's just going to make it more and more like, okay, yeah, this is amazing. It's such a time saver.
so Dave has asked a really good question actually, and I'm trying to think of how best to answer this. So,
Mm.
would the client have access to the cloud snippet? So obviously you built a website, I've got admin access, and the client has also got admin access. Technically, I would assume that the client could search if you give them access to do that and they got admin
Mm.
rights. Technically, they could search, couldn't they, and add a
So what,
snippet?
yeah, what I'd say in these kind of situations, what I would probably say is best thing to do is, and maybe correct me if I'm misunderstanding you. You'd probably be as maybe the agency or the freelancer coming in, doing a bit of work, and then dropping off. Obviously, if you're staying there and maintaining it, then you may not be giving them access to admin. You're just giving them maybe restricted access to do editing pages or content. But
Yeah.
if you're dropping off, then it'd probably be better. at that point to then, so on the cloud, you've got this feature called connected sites where you can see each of the sites that are connected to the cloud. You can then individually revoke access, or if you're using just like one token for all of them, you can just revoke the whole token if you want to. If there's a bit of a granularity, so there, right there, it says revoke access and delete for that site. I would say do that afterwards. So any snippet that's already on the site from your cloud or from just another person's will stay on that site. But then if they're trying to access the code vault or do anything more, then they won't have any future access to it. And if that's something, again, like I said, if it's something which you want even more protection, and if that's something that a lot of people are feeling that that's a bigger concern, we can make that even, I think, more stronger of a disconnect or restricted access of some way, for sure.
Well, now that I know about that, I think that's something I'll have to do a video now to test out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
say now, okay, I've got access, and I'm gonna create a fake account, and I'm gonna give a editor access. Right, what happens if I do X, Y, Z? So I think that's something I'll probably do a future video on very, very soon.
Yeah, Dave, try it out, definitely. And if you find any ways or if you find loopholes, then give us the feedback. Definitely, we'd love to know, and we'll get on it.
Yeah, and if anyone doesn't reply, that means they deleted it and they don't care. But anyway, I'm sure they will reply. I'm sure they will get back to you on that. Now we've only got about we're on today's live chat was only going to be 45 minutes long. We've got 4 minutes. If anyone's got any burning questions that you want to ask, please do ask them. John says, what about Code Snippets as a reselling package? So I think what you're thinking of is like, so there is an affiliate. You can become an affiliate for Code Snippets. I can't remember what the process is for that or how you actually do that. But you can become an affiliate. So if you want to resell it on, you can do. That is still active, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. I think there is a page on the site that you can go to sign up as an affiliate. And also there is a link, I think, to no, there is a link on the website. Maybe we can share it just to the roadmap of where if you have feature requests. I've seen just in some of the chats, some people saying, what about this? What about that? It's really awesome what you guys are saying. Maybe we can share it on the Web Squadron Facebook group, just a link to the kind of the roadmap and where you can submit feature requests. Some of them are really, really cool feature requests that some people are shouting out.
I know, I'm trying to find, here you go. Yep. So if I just put up so if you're not logged in, and just let me just get rid of John's face there. If you're not logged in, if you go over to the codesnippets.cloud, the roadmap is oh yeah, no, sorry. The roadmap will be appearing on there.
Roadmap something. Roadmap.codesnippets.pro, is that it?
Yeah, something like that. But you'll be able to see some of the new features that are coming out. So I'm just going to double check some of the questions before we close up on here very, very soon. Just double check, Greg. Ideally in the snippet search, right? So John says, ideally in the snippet search of the website filtering by most viewed, most liked would be great. Yes, so you can do search. And at the moment, what you do is you get it almost in the date order of how it's been added. So will we be having any other options, you think, with like most liked? Yeah, I think that was something we discussed a while ago, didn't we? About adding in more search filters for the searching or the ordering.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. It's definitely in the plan. The initial stage was to just get it out there, get searcher out there, and see how people are searching and what kind of ways they want to get snippets back and what's important. But no, it's definitely on the pipeline to add more filtering and ways to pick up snippets, liked one, which one's the most trending or things like that. Definitely, that's a good suggestion. Thank you, John.
Yeah. So this is currently the roadmap at the moment, I'm not even going to go through all of them at the moment, but you can see that on screen. And Atif did share the address roadmap.codesnippets.pro. please go and have a look at that. I do also want to point out, though, that if you ever do have any feedback or questions or anything like that, do jump over to the Code Snippets community, which is on Facebook. Go to Facebook, Code Snippets community. It's free to join up there. The wider team is on there. They will answer your questions. You know, if you've come across a problem or you just want to talk about a feature or anything like that, please do join the Facebook group. Don't just send an email and wait for your email reply, you know, because there are lots of other people on there. And I might even pop over as well and dislike whatever you say on there if I can do. Okay, yeah, we're close to closing up now. I'm just going to give it another minute or so. If you've got any burning questions, please do ask. But Atif, is there anything you want to like close up on or mention with regards to Code Snippets?
I just generally, I know I've said this like at the beginning, I may be banging on about it again and again, but as obviously, well, two things. One is don't use this on any production site, the beta plugin. Just use it on test sites. Don't use it on any production sites. Things are open to change and probably will change. And second, honestly, please do join and give us feedback. We really do read the feedback. We really look at the feedback, and it'll only help to shape it and make it a better experience for all of us. So we really do encourage it, and yeah, we're trying our best just to make it as good as possible. Thank you.
Yeah. So if you do go over to the Code Snippets community on Facebook or to the Web Squadron one, and I will be posting it into the comments of this video. By the way, this video is live, but I am recording as well, and I'm going to download that, and we will stick it into various locations so you can watch the replay. But there will be a link in there for you to go and sign up for the beta version or to test it out, because the Code Snippets team, they don't want to hide. They want to be very transparent, and they want your feedback. You know, and if you find it's all good and working for you, great, let them know. If there's any bugs, please do let them know, because I know they try and catch everything, but there's always going to be one little thing they either overlooked or didn't experience, and this is where you can massively help them out. And in fact, I'm pretty sure Verdi and the team, wasn't there like a giveaway or something? Wasn't there like a prize or something?
There is. You know, honestly, it's just gone blank from my mind. But there is a prize. The best feedback or the two best feedbacks will get something. Honestly, but we'll post that in the Facebook group.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Yeah. So there are prizes. In fact, I think it's like I think you get the pro version.
Prizes, something like that. Honestly, it's just my mind's gone blank. But
yeah, no.
Only one small request I have is, yeah, we have thick skin. Yeah, definitely. But try to be nice in your feedback. Yeah, just try. You know, we're human too. So, you know, if something doesn't work, we didn't do it on purpose. And if something's not to your liking, again, we didn't do it on purpose. We're just trying to do our best. So maybe word it in a nice way, like, guys, this isn't the best. Can you maybe do this or that? And definitely one other thing just to say is that if you do give us feedback, there's a prize, but also we will maybe reaching out to some of you just to get a little bit more in depth, and hopefully that's okay with you. So don't feel like you have to give an essay. You can give a short thing, and we'll reach back out to say, can you give us some time to go into it a bit more?
Okay, we're going to end it there now. I'm going to say thank you to Atif. I hope you enjoyed today's live stream all about Code Snippets. So let's give Atif a round of applause. Don't you just love the sound effects? There's quite a lot on here, actually.
Nice.
Sorry, I couldn't. I've been waiting to try that out. And I thought, at what point do I put the air horn on? I thought, when do I do that?
Your eyes. You can see the twinkle in your eyes when you're just.
All right, everyone. All right, I'm going to end the broadcast now. Thanks again. And in terms of Web Squadron, I'll be back doing live chats again next week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Stay safe. Go and grab a doner kebab, fish and chips, or just do something exciting. We need to go get a haircut. He needs to get a haircut too. All right, take care, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
See you later.
Thanks, Imran. Thanks for having me.